How's it going, everyone? Back with 5 at 5. So let's get started with the 5 things that I noticed from Arsenal 3, AFC Wimbledon 0. Number 1, and that's got to be Bukayo Saka. Listen, Bukayo Saka has become a victim of his own success. He set such high standards so early, sooner than anyone predicted for him. And because of that, a lot of people this season have been asking the question, is Bukayo Saka suffering from a Euro hangover? Last season for Arsenal and for England, he did so well that we've just come to expect it from him. And yes, fair enough, I accept that this season, the first few games, he hasn't been playing at the same level. So obviously that's led people to ask the question about whether he has been suffering from a Euro hangover. I haven't been that convinced. I just think maybe sometimes players go through a little bit of a rough patch of form, and also he's very young. That happens to a lot of youngsters. Let me know in the comments whether you think it has been a Euro hangover. But what I would say is that yesterday against AFC Wimbledon, he came on and looked absolutely brilliant. And yes, I know, before you say it, before you get in the comments and say it's only AFC Wimbledon, I know. I put my hands up to that. But he still came on and played brilliantly, and for me, outperformed just about anyone else on the pitch in the short time that he was on the pitch. So it was brilliant to see. And what made it even sweeter is that we've got a pretty important game coming up next. So if he can use that performance to raise his form, raise his level, and take that form into that Tottenham game, well, Arsenal will be very lucky to get that, because we need to go and win that Tottenham game. So hopefully, Bukayo Saka, this will be your level going forward. And if that's your rough patch and now you're back to your best, well, listen, I'll take that. Number 2, and that is Eddie Nketiah. So I'm going to talk about 2 things with Eddie, right? The first one, and in fact, I'm going to save the best till last. So I'm going to go with the first one is, why was he playing? We know he was very close to a move. We know that he hasn't agreed a new deal. And we've got Balogun sitting, waiting to be the heir to the throne of Eddie Nketiah as the sort of youth graduate striker at in the first team at Arsenal. So, listen, I love Nketiah. I really do. I feel like the fans have been very hard on him. They haven't really given him enough support. And I really feel like there's a player in there. I really do. I feel like, yeah, he's not sort of the best footballer in the world, but he knows how to finish. When he gets that ball inside the box, he just knows what to do. And unfortunately, I just don't think Arsenal really have enough touches in the box. We don't create enough chances. We don't have the creative players to be able to thread those passes through to make a player like Eddie Nketiah look good. So I have to question, given that it looks like Balogun is going to be the future for Arsenal, why did Arteta even play him in the first place? But hey, maybe the answer came in the form of that incredibly tidy, beautiful back heel finish from Cedric's cross. That goal was a thing of beauty, and it really does show. In the box, Nketiah, he knows what he's doing. So, happy for Nketiah. Hopefully, I still hope that he can be a success at Arsenal, that he does sign a new contract and he starts banging in the goals. Hopefully that's the first of many, and what a lovely goal it was. Now, number 3. Pep Guardiola is jealous of Arsenal. And why do I say that? Well, let me tell you. Pep Guardiola, as I'm sure you all know, has been in a bit of a spat with the Man City fans, his own fans recently, because he's been talking about needing them to attend games. He's been talking about needing their support. And Man City are always given that stick and bantered for not having the fans that attend the games and that fill out the stadium. Well, Man City played Wickham the other day. Arsenal played AFC Wimbledon yesterday. Man City's attendance, 31,000 out of a 50-odd thousand stadium. Arsenal's attendance, 51,000 out of a 60,000 seater stadium. Look at that. Look at the difference. I cannot believe, personally, that 51,000 people turned out for a game that finishes about 10:30 on a work night, on a school night. And also the really important point here is that the Carabao Cup is not included in the season tickets. So everyone who attended yesterday went and specifically bought tickets for this game against AFC Wimbledon in the Carabao Cup on a Wednesday night. You've got to hand it to the Arsenal fans. I was giving the Arsenal away fans loads of credit in my last 5 at 5 after Burnley, and now I'm giving the Arsenal home fans loads of credit after beating AFC Wimbledon 3-0. Arsenal fans, you're the best. Number 4, and that is going to be a bit of a surprise. It's my man of the match from yesterday's game. You must be thinking, who's that going to be? Is it going to be Saka? Is it going to be Laka? Is it going to be someone else? Actually, do you know what? My man of the match wasn't even on the pitch. He was in the stands, he was holding up his camera phone, and he was putting on a grainy stream for all of the Arsenal fans that were flooding Arsenal Twitter with complaints that there's no stream for the game. Listen, the game wasn't on any sort of like main provider, it wasn't on Sky Sports or anything, and also there was no stream available anywhere on the internet. So one hero, Aspriv999 on Twitter, he stepped up and did what all Arsenal fans needed, and he recorded the game from the stadium on his phone and just let people watch it. So listen, respect to him, he is my man of the match. And look, yeah, people will say, oh, well, you're not allowed to do that and all that sort of stuff. But this guy was providing a service. It's not nice when fans don't get to watch their team. So, yeah, I don't really care too much. So, Aspriv999, you're my man of the match. Good on you. He put on a stream for everyone. And also, go to his Twitter. He shared his PayPal, and he obviously couldn't watch the game how he would have wanted to, right? So anyone that dropped him a tip or wants to drop him a tip, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. At least he should get his match ticket covered. And now, finally, number 5. And number 5 is actually something that we didn't see, and I was hoping to. So that was Charlie Patino. Unfortunately, it was no Patino yesterday, but you know, a lot of fans that I spoke to before the game were saying that they were really looking forward to and hoping that he would be in the team. You know, obviously maybe not in the starting 11, but come off the bench if we've got the game wrapped up. And actually, in hindsight, I wish he was available on the bench, because it would have been a great opportunity for him to come on in front of 50,000 fans at home in a game that was already won. It's a perfect sort of debut game for a youngster like him. And he's turned a lot of heads this season. A lot of people have seen him in the under-23s. Brilliant ball retention, plays with his head up, he's got a lovely touch, knows how to get out of trouble, seems really comfortable on the ball. I'm not suggesting that he's first team ready yet, but I really would have liked to have seen him play yesterday. And actually, Mikel Arteta was asked about him, and I'll read out what Mikel Arteta said. When he was asked on how close Patino was to being in the squad, he said he was very close, but we decided as well that some players needed minutes. It will happen naturally in time. So it seems like Mikel Arteta thought, actually, do you know what? He did consider him, but he prioritised the other first team players who felt like needed minutes, like Thomas Partey, for example, who rumoured has it that he actually wanted to play to get more match sharpness. So it does make sense to me, as much as I wanted to see Patino play, that you prioritise someone like Partey to make sure he's in tip-top condition and as sharp as he needs to be for the Tottenham game on the weekend. And someone also asked Arteta how impressed he's been with Patino, and he said Charlie's been good. He's trained more and more with us, as in the first team, and played a practice game at Colney, and he was really good. Again, give him time and we will prepare him. So hopefully we will get to see Patino break into the first team this season. When I look at the League Cup though, the Carabao Cup, we've got Leeds in the next game. It's hard to think that he might play in that, but fingers crossed we get to see some Patino action, because he's one hell of a prospect. That's my 5 at 5. Let me know if you think I've missed anything and put it in the comments below, and see you next time after Tottenham.